Cooper Norris finally has the power he always wanted. A new company, a new title, a future that finally looks stable. But in Landman Season 3, power doesn't bring peace. It paints a target on your back. The new trailer hints at betrayal, revenge, and a danger connected to Cooper's past that may destroy everything Tommy Norris has built. And the worst part? Cooper doesn't see it coming yet. The Landman Season 3 trailer opens with a feeling we've never really seen in this show before: control. For 2 seasons, Tommy Norris was the man fixing problems inside someone else's empire. He was respected, feared, and trusted, but never truly in charge. Now, that changes. Tommy is building his own company, and the trailer makes it clear this is more than just a business move. It's his legacy. You can feel the shift immediately. The tone is heavier, more confident. Tommy walks like a man who finally owns the ground beneath his feet. He's no longer cleaning up other people's messes. He's creating something with his own name attached to it. But in a Taylor Sheridan world, that kind of success never comes without consequences. The moment a character stands tall, something dark starts moving toward them. And that darkness is already circling Cooper. The biggest reveal in the trailer is Cooper Norris becoming president of the new company. On the surface, it sounds like a victory. The troubled son has finally earned his father's trust. After all the mistakes, failures, and struggles to prove himself, Cooper is finally stepping into real power. But the trailer doesn't frame it as a celebration. It frames it like a burden. Because being president in this world means more than wearing a title. It means making impossible decisions, facing ruthless competitors, and carrying pressure every single day. Cooper is still learning who he is, and now he's being thrown into a position where one wrong move could destroy the company before it even begins. What makes this even more intense is Tommy's role in it all. Tommy chose Cooper. He handed his son a piece of the empire he built with blood and grit. That creates a dangerous emotional tension. Cooper now has to prove himself not just to outsiders, but to his father too. And when a son tries too hard to prove he's worthy, he starts taking risks. The trailer hints at exactly that. There's ambition in Cooper's eyes, but there's also fear. He wants to be more than Tommy's son. He wants to be his own man. And in Sheridan's stories, that desire usually comes with painful consequences. But the real danger may not be inside the company at all. Season 2 left behind a wound that never fully healed. The attack connected to Ariana. Legally, the case was closed. Cooper walked away. Life moved on. But the trailer suggests someone else hasn't moved on at all. Someone connected to that dead attacker may believe justice was never served. And now that Cooper is rising in power, he's become impossible to ignore. That's the chilling idea running underneath the entire trailer. Cooper finally has something worth losing: a career, a future, a relationship, and a family legacy. And revenge stories always strike when the target feels safest. Ariana's presence inside the new company makes things even more complicated. She's no longer standing outside Cooper's world. She's inside it now, working beside him every day. That means any threat aimed at Cooper will hit her too. Their relationship, which survived chaos before, is now tied directly to the company's future. Love and business are becoming the same battlefield. And that is what makes Landman Season 3 feel different from the seasons before it. This isn't just about oil deals and power struggles anymore. It's about family, legacy, and the terrifying possibility that the past is coming back for revenge. By the end of the trailer, one thing becomes painfully clear. Tommy Norris may be building an empire, but Cooper may be the one standing in the line of fire. Now let's talk about the part of the trailer that feels the most dangerous. Not because it is loud, not because it is obvious, but because it sits quietly beneath everything else. And sometimes the quiet threats are the ones that do the most damage. When most people watch the Landman Season 3 trailer, they focus on the new company. They focus on Tommy's leadership and Cooper's promotion. Those are the big moments designed to grab attention. But if you look a little deeper, another story begins to emerge. A story about unfinished business. One of the most important lessons Taylor Sheridan has taught viewers over the years is that the past never stays buried. Characters can move forward. They can build new lives. They can convince themselves that painful chapters are over. But eventually, those chapters find a way back. And Cooper may be about to learn that lesson the hard way. Think about where his life stands right now. He has never been in a stronger position. He has the respect of his father. He has a leadership role inside the company. He has Ariana standing beside him. For the first time since viewers met him, Cooper appears to be moving towards stability instead of chaos. But stability can be dangerous, because when someone spends years fighting just to survive, they stay alert. They expect trouble. They watch every corner. The moment life finally becomes comfortable, that alertness disappears. And that is exactly when threats become most effective. The trailer gives off that feeling constantly. There are moments that seem calm on the surface, yet something feels wrong underneath. It is the kind of storytelling Sheridan uses all the time. He doesn't always show danger directly. Instead, he creates the feeling that danger is approaching. And Cooper seems completely focused on the future. He's thinking about business growth. He's thinking about leadership. He's thinking about building a life with Ariana. Every decision he makes is focused on what comes next. But what if someone else is focused on what happened before? That possibility changes everything. The attack connected to Ariana may be legally finished, but emotional wounds do not follow legal rules. People who feel wronged don't always accept official outcomes. Sometimes they create their own version of justice. And if someone connected to that situation believes Cooper escaped consequences, revenge becomes a very real possibility. The trailer never directly confirms this. That's what makes it so interesting. Instead, it leaves clues. The tension feels personal rather than professional. The danger feels emotional rather than financial. It doesn't feel like somebody wants to steal the company. It feels like somebody wants to hurt the people running it. And that is far more terrifying. A business enemy attacks your money. A revenge-driven enemy attacks your life. There is a huge difference. Tommy understands that better than anyone. He has spent years dealing with people who hide their true intentions. He knows how quickly situations can turn violent. But even Tommy may have trouble protecting Cooper if the threat comes from a direction nobody expects. Because revenge rarely announces itself. It waits. It studies. It looks for weaknesses. And Cooper has more weaknesses than he realizes. His biggest weakness is not inexperience. His biggest weakness is love. Ariana has become the center of his world. Every future plan includes her. Every success feels more meaningful because she is there to share it. That makes their relationship beautiful, but it also makes it vulnerable. Anyone looking to hurt Cooper would immediately understand that. The trailer repeatedly places Ariana close to the center of the story, and that feels intentional. The writers are reminding viewers how important she has become, not just to Cooper emotionally, but to the entire narrative. She is no longer a supporting piece in somebody else's story. She is now part of the foundation. And when foundations are attacked, entire structures collapse. That is why Season 3 feels like it could become the darkest chapter of Cooper's journey so far. For years, his biggest battles were internal. He struggled with confidence. He struggled with responsibility. He struggled to earn respect. But now he may be facing something completely different. An enemy he cannot see. An enemy who already knows exactly where to strike. The scary part is that Cooper's promotion may actually make the situation worse. As president of the company, he becomes more visible, more powerful, more important. And powerful people attract attention. Every newspaper mention, every business deal, every public success. All of it makes Cooper easier to find. If someone truly wants revenge, the new company gives them something they never had before, a clear target. That idea hangs over the entire trailer like a storm cloud. The company is growing. The family is celebrating. The future looks brighter than ever. Yet somehow the atmosphere feels darker. That contradiction is what makes the trailer so effective. It constantly asks one question. What happens when a man finally gets everything he wants, just as someone else decides to take it all away? And trust me, that question is only the beginning of what Season 3 appears to be setting up. Because while Cooper may be dealing with enemies outside the company, another challenge is quietly growing inside the organization itself. A challenge that could test the Norris family in ways they never expected. And that is where things get truly complicated. While the trailer spends a lot of time hinting at outside threats, there is another danger growing much closer to home. And in many ways, this threat may be even more destructive than revenge. Because enemies outside your company can be fought. Enemies inside your company are much harder to survive. The moment Tommy Norris decided to create his own operation, he changed everything. For years, he worked inside established systems. There were rules, structures, and chains of command. Now he is building something from scratch. That sounds exciting, but building an empire is one thing. Keeping everyone united inside that empire is something completely different. The trailer introduces what looks like the strongest team Tommy has ever had around him. Rebecca brings intelligence and legal expertise. Nate understands the financial side of the business. Dale and Thomas know how operations work in the real world. Ariana is becoming more involved than ever before. On paper, it is the perfect setup. But perfect setups rarely stay perfect for long. Because every person inside that company has different experiences, different priorities, and different ideas about what success looks like. At some point, those differences will collide. And standing directly in the middle of that collision will be Cooper. This is where his promotion becomes incredibly dangerous. Being president is not about making people happy, it is about making decisions. And every decision creates winners and losers. Sooner or later, Cooper will face a moment where two trusted people disagree with each other. He will have to choose a side. And when that happens, somebody will walk away frustrated. The trailer hints at growing pressure from every direction. Everyone seems focused. Everyone seems committed. Yet beneath that confidence, there is an uncomfortable question. Does everyone truly believe Cooper deserves his position? That question may never be spoken out loud, but it will exist. Think about it from the perspective of experienced professionals around him. Some of these people have spent decades in the industry. They have survived crises, negotiated deals, and handled situations Cooper has never experienced. Then, suddenly, they find themselves reporting to Tommy's son. Even if they respect him, doubts will naturally exist. Cooper knows that. And that knowledge creates pressure. The pressure to prove himself, the pressure to make bold decisions, the pressure to show everyone that he earned the title rather than inherited it. Unfortunately, people trying to prove themselves often make mistakes. Big mistakes. The trailer gives us glimpses of a Cooper who appears more confident than ever before. But confidence and experience are not the same thing. In fact, confidence without experience can be dangerous. Tommy understands that better than anyone. He knows the oil business is unforgiving. One bad decision can cost millions. One wrong partnership can create years of problems. One moment of poor judgment can destroy everything people spent decades building. That is why the relationship between Tommy and Cooper may become one of the most important storylines of Season 3. For years, Cooper wanted Tommy's respect. Now he has it, but getting respect is easier than keeping it. Imagine the situation Cooper finds himself in. If he agrees with Tommy all the time, people will say he is simply following his father. If he disagrees with Tommy, he risks creating tension inside the company. Either way, he loses something. That is the impossible position leadership creates. And the trailer seems determined to explore exactly that conflict. What happens when a son wants to become his own man while working under the shadow of a legendary father? The answer is rarely simple. Sometimes sons push too hard. Sometimes fathers hold on too tightly. Sometimes both happen at the same time. And when they do, relationships begin to crack. The interesting thing is that neither Tommy nor Cooper would intentionally hurt each other. Their conflict wouldn't come from hatred. It would come from love. Tommy wants to protect what he built. Cooper wants to prove he can lead it. Those goals sound similar, but they can easily pull people in opposite directions. The trailer seems to understand that perfectly. Every success Cooper achieves brings him closer to independence, and every step toward independence takes him slightly farther away from Tommy's control. That tension feels unavoidable. But there is another layer that makes the situation even more complicated. The company itself is becoming larger. More money, more responsibility, more visibility, more enemies. As the business grows, so does the risk. People who never cared about Tommy before may suddenly start paying attention. Competitors may see the new company as a threat. Former allies may become rivals. Old relationships may begin to change. Success has a strange way of revealing people's true intentions. And if there is one lesson Landman has taught viewers repeatedly, it is that power changes everything. The trailer constantly reminds us that this company represents hope. Hope for Tommy. Hope for Cooper. Hope for the future. But hope can be fragile. One betrayal. One bad decision. One hidden enemy. That is all it takes to start pulling the entire structure apart. And as dangerous as all of this sounds, the most shocking part of the trailer may still be waiting ahead. Because the biggest threat of Season 3 may not be the company. It may not even be Cooper. It may be the possibility that Tommy Norris is about to face the one thing he has never truly been able to control: loss. And if that happens, everything changes. And when you put all the pieces together, one thing becomes very clear. Landman. Season 3 is not simply continuing the story. It is raising the stakes in a way we have never seen before. For Tommy Norris, this season is about legacy. After years of building success for other people, he finally has something that belongs to him. A company with his name attached to it. A future he can shape with his own decisions. But as exciting as that sounds, the trailer keeps reminding us that success comes with a price. The higher Tommy climbs, the more people will be watching him. And not all of them will be cheering for him. For Cooper, the situation feels even more dangerous. At first glance, becoming president looks like the biggest victory of his life. It is the moment he has spent years chasing. The moment that proves he is more than just Tommy's son. But what if this promotion is actually the beginning of his biggest challenge? What if the title that finally gives him power also puts him directly in the crosshairs of someone who has been waiting for the perfect moment to strike? That possibility hangs over every second of the trailer, because while Cooper is focused on building the future, someone else may be focused on settling the past. And that's what makes this season so fascinating. The threat doesn't feel random, it feels personal. The trailer keeps dropping subtle hints that old wounds have not healed, old enemies have not forgotten, and old consequences may be preparing to return in ways nobody expects. If that's true, Cooper's biggest battle won't happen in a boardroom. It won't happen during a business deal. It will happen when his personal life and professional life collide in the worst possible way. Then there is Ariana. Her role in Season 3 feels larger than ever before. She is no longer standing on the outside looking in. She is now part of the company, part of Cooper's future, and part of every major decision moving forward. That makes her more important than ever, but it also makes her more vulnerable than ever. If revenge is truly coming, Ariana may find herself caught in the middle of a conflict she never wanted. And that's where things could become heartbreaking. Because the happiest moments in a Taylor Sheridan story often arrive right before everything changes. The trailer shows hope. It shows ambition. It shows a family trying to build something meaningful together. But underneath all of that hope is a growing sense of dread, the feeling that somebody, somewhere, is watching and waiting. Maybe we're wrong. Maybe Cooper's future will finally be as bright as it appears. Maybe Tommy's company will thrive. Maybe the Norris family will get the peace they've fought so hard to earn. But if there's one thing we've learned from this series, it's that peace never lasts for long. Every victory creates a new challenge. Every success creates a new enemy. And every empire creates new targets. That's why I believe the real story of Landman Season 3 isn't about oil. It isn't about business. And it isn't even about power. It's about what happens when a man finally gets everything he ever wanted and discovers that someone else wants to take it all away. So what do you think? Is Cooper ready to lead this company? Will Tommy's new empire survive its first major test? And most importantly, do you think someone is really coming back for revenge, or is the trailer trying to mislead us? Share your theories in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss the latest updates, trailer breakdowns, and hidden details from Landman Season 3. Because if this trailer taught us anything, it's that the biggest danger isn't the one you can see coming. It's the one that's already on its way. And when you put all the pieces together, one thing becomes very clear. Landman Season 3 is not simply continuing the story. It is raising the stakes in a way we have never seen before.